Good evening, everybody. This is SurvivorCircle for July 17th, 18th. What day is it?
18.
18th, 2023. And we are really glad to have everybody here.
Happy birthday to my daughter-in-law. They are in Florida this week. And happy birthday to my oldest niece.
Chloe.
Second oldest niece. Anyway, yeah. I don't even know how old she is. I quit trying to keep up. Hey, Lorraine.
Enjoying their vacation?
Yeah, they went on vacation. I've got all kinds of cute little baby pictures of where they drove to the beach today to spend the day, and yeah, all that good stuff. All that good grandma stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, they should have taken you along.
No.
They did you a favor not taking you along, which is
yeah. That's kind of what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Mama couldn't pay for that trip. They took somebody with them that could.
There you go. That's how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Hey, Oofy.
Glad to see everybody's made it in here today. Our guest for today is Julie. Julie and Guthrie-Smulson. And we're just going to talk about everything. You got so many things different things going on right now. And one of my big interest is your past lives exploration, shall we call it?
Okay.
You know?
I'm game.
But I mean, that's just me,
Okay.
But you ladies were talking about another interest that you have in common in EVPs.
Yeah.
Now, everybody loves EVPs.
Mm-hmm.
Even me. I'm just not drawn to that side. I don't know. I mean, some of the experiences I have had are spiritual, and there have been some past life things and spirit things that have I've hit the edge of, but it just doesn't seem to be where I'm wanting to focus, Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you guys, everybody loves it. I wish I could get more in touch with that.
Typically, my investigation did include a lot of audio and video recordings, but it wasn't necessarily of EVPs. So this one that I have is very personal to me because he's a spirit guide of mine, and he actually did help me he's been helping me for the last few months or years, excuse me. So there's a message in this recording that I have that I'd like to be able to access. Typically when I do paranormal stuff, I'm not the one using the equipment. So I'm the psychic person. I'm the one that's remote viewing stuff. So the technical stuff is not usually my deal.
Okay.
So I'll leave that to the experts like Maria.
I know about that.
Wait till the physicists get hold of this stuff. Then we'll have experts. Now we've just got I don't know, gifted amateurs perhaps, but
experiencers.
It's experiencers, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Someday when somebody figures out how to read that stuff scientifically, if that's at all possible, okay, then we're going to have to, then we'll have something there to work with. But I don't really expect it.
Well, we gotta bring them to the point that they believe in that.
There's something there to work with. Yeah.
Well, they don't want to believe in recordings and stuff like that. They don't want to dissect it. They don't want to sit down and say, okay, this is how we are hearing them. They don't want to do that. They'd rather worry about the drop of methane that they found on a moon by Saturn or something. They just they don't care about that stuff. They don't want to believe in it.
I think that those that are exploring those types of things already know that this stuff exists. They just don't want to admit to it. Because there's something else going on. So I don't know if I shared with Charles my book. So I don't know how much of that was read.
I just got started. I'm maybe the fourth chapter.
Oh, you're very early on in.
Yeah. So, but I'm very impressed with the book so far.
Oh, thank you.
You're an excellent writer, and you're doing a good job.
Well, I had some help. I have to be honest. I use Grammarly.
Hey, take it where you can get it. That's all I can say. You know?
Hey, that's a cheap editor. Trust me. The editors are expensive.
They really are.
So what do you want to know about past lives? Like, I had no idea I was going down this path when I did. So,
well, Ufi threw a question at you already. Can you do a remote view or psychic prediction of our new game concept, Paranopoly? There you go.
It feels like, what's that?
Lorraine wants to play.
Oh Lord, you're already making her head hurt, Ufi.
What's that game called? Minecraft? It feels like that. Get out of possession free card.
Like Monopoly. Yeah, I like it. Let's see. Instead of having railroads, you'll have like a spooky house on each side, the middle of each side. Let's see, what else?
Karma tax.
Yeah. There you go. Oh yes. What would the park place of Paranopoly be? It wouldn't be one of your downscale dungeons or anything like that. We have to be like the.
What kind of application is this? A board game or an actual like console game or both? I think it feels like it could be both.
I think Ufi is just trying to drain our creativity right out of us.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm the idea girl. Come to me.
Yes, that's it. I knew it. It's both.
Oh wow. Well, I
What do they call that? What do they call that when they throw an idea out in the room and everybody just kind of jumps on it or tosses it out? Brainstorming, of course. Yes. Well, we just like the writer's room. Only we get if it goes big, we want a chunk of the action. We're none of that Hollywood stuff, Ufi.
So, on average, what do you got here? Like 15 people?
Yeah. Okay.
You all get like 3% in royalties.
Oh no! I was thinking like a thousandth of a percent or something. Ooh, reincarnation. Yeah, but you'd need a multi-level board if you did that. Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
dice. And
Chunk of
that'll be it. Wouldn't that be spin the crucifix instead of spin the bottle?
Oh God, that sounds dangerous.
Spin the pentagram. Yes. Mm.
Yeah.
Instead of rolling the dice, you'd be rolling the bones, right? Okay, guys.
Yes.
All the toast you can eat.
Yeah. We got to set CT up with all the toast CT can eat. Yes.
Mm.
Well, what do you want to know about past lives?
Yeah,
And how do you get there?
Now that we've been totally derailed, back to well, I no. I'm going to go talk about reincarnations. Okay, that is like a next on my list of things to look into. I have run into other people who have obviously been reincarnated. I've done a little walk around on the other side myself, and the idea of reincarnation is just right there. Yeah, of course of course. But I've thought about it. I've thought about trying to have a hypnosis session or whatever to see. But I keep saying, do I really want to know? I don't quite have the courage to go there.
Oh, it's not scary. Trust me.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay, but see, I'm wondering what would I gain? What would I gain by having that knowledge? Okay, it's the traumas thing. It gives you an avenue to work out those carryover traumas from previous lives. I'm good with that. But
well, that's kind of what I'm doing through this book. Once you get to the end, you'll understand. It's a sole purpose for. I'm essentially with this book it's probably going to prove reincarnation, or and psychic abilities to some degree. I didn't know I had to heal these past lives, and I have this job to do. And what I found repeatedly in the process is that we are generally the same. We have kind of like the same personality. We have the same interests. We, generally navigate when we're reincarnated over and over. We're kind of the same. We're not physically the same.
The same basic template.
Yeah. So, and that's one of the ways that I understood that Ben Franklin was incarnated into this lifetime, and he was my grandfather on my mom's side, and my dad's actually John Hancock. So there was different clues there with these. There was George Washington was my grandmother, and Gilgamesh is incarnated. He's basically kind of the same kind of person, more mellow than he's portrayed in the epic.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so in these times. Yes.
Or it's very possible that he was, although I found out that I actually started writing the Epic of Gilgamesh, and he finished it. He channeled. I died. He channeled it. So,
or that was Enkidu's. Enkidu's message from the other side.
Yeah. So you know,
there are so many stories involved in that whole arc. You know.
Well, yeah. There's branches of it because if you go and buy the Epic of Gilgamesh off the shelf, whatever copy that you're going to get at Barnes and Nobles or off of Amazon, you're not going to get the complete story because they left out the last one, which was probably the most important because Enkidu died. She went, she's in the underworld and they're talking. So this is when Enkidu is actually channeling that story to him to write down.
Exactly.
So which is interesting because there's a whole layer of that, the Epic of Gilgamesh, that hasn't been looked at. I mean, maybe scholars have, but this is actually an account, a historic account of their time. And there's things there that haven't been talked about, which are connected to what was going on. And there's aliens.
But it's a legend wrapped in a mystery that dominated a culture for 1,500 years. That's special. It's like the Campbell cycle on stories. The great, the template for the great stories. Okay, the hero and the heroic journey. That it was like the first one of those that we know of. Okay, as a human, or that's what it grew into, or was the basis for. The hero is born. The hero goes out into the world and faces all these different dangers, and then it faces his ultimate nemesis, and then goes on past that and returns where they began as a changed person. That's it. That's the cycle in a nutshell. But this is the first one that was written down.
Yes, recorded that we have found.
That is the human story.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sure there were human stories just like that, shared by storytellers across continents before that, but we don't have any.
Right.
Other than in the oral histories, we don't have any record of that.
Right.
Okay. So this is what we've got to work with as a basis, I guess, basis point.
Yes.
But still, they use the same template there in Mesopotamia through Sumerian, Akkadian, and something else. There's a middle. Yeah, and Babylonian and then Akkadian. Through 3 different cultures over almost 2,000 years. That just blows my mind.
Yeah. So actually, not to give away, like, if you don't want a spoiler in my book.
Well, later I will let you know the real story, but right now.
We find out that in my research and digging deeper is Gilgamesh is actually known by different names. He's known as, because of the Tower of Babel and the confusion caused by it. And we have this one root story, and it's carried out through the lands with all these different languages. So his name got changed, okay? So he's also known as Adam. He's also known as Nimrod. And he's also known as Lucifer. That's going to mess with your mind.
Okay.
So
the Adam part doesn't surprise me too much.
Yeah.
because I was comparing parts of the Gilgamesh story with the Garden of Eden.
Exactly.
Okay. Gilgamesh, his great journey was to find the tree of immortality. Okay, one of his great journeys. Okay, and he found it, but he lost it. Okay, and that is where the I said, okay, that's like Adam. Okay, they took from the book of the tree of knowledge. They did not take from the tree of immortality. So God threw them out of the garden
But
as
that's
and it was still his tree. Anyway, Gilgamesh's tree was eaten by a snake. Adam's
right. Exactly.
was evicted over a snake. Okay,
So there's another story, and that's
there should be
Inanna.
commonalities.
Huh? Well, you have to go to the story of Inanna and the Hupalip tree.
Mm-hmm.
So that you bring that, because all of these actually, when you put them all together, you can line it up to Genesis and go, oh, here it is. But the thing is, Ishtar, Inanna, she's actually Lilith, okay, which is she's not talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So she was a seed that was planted here.
Okay.
And this whole story that we have about Lilith is also twisted. She's actually incarnated as my mother. Yeah. So she does these really evil things with children.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, Inanna has that reputation. Yes.
It's a very complicated story to tell. And it's there's so many layers to this. I mean, like Thomas Paine's involved in this because he's another part of this. And so his writing went into the Age of Reason, and he's picking apart the Bible. And he's going, this is a made up story.
Mm-hmm.
And he's called the Antichrist.
What is okay? So this is like the great human story. Okay, it's the story of at least two cultures. It's the story of the beginnings of agriculture and the hunter-gatherer societies that survived before that for tens of thousands of years. Okay, what's the point? Is there a point? Is there a meaning? Is there an end? Is there a desired end result to all these different
lifetimes that I've had?
Yes.
Well, in that lifetime, I mean, humanity went to hell in a handbasket, literally. So there's a story. There was a lot of black magic going on. The aliens are here. There was multiple types of aliens that came here. It wasn't just like the Anunnaki. So Anunnaki is actually just a blanket term for angel, alien, being from the sky. And so Enkidu, she is actually a woman, and she makes a promise to humanity because she's actually killed. They got rid of her because she was going to tell the truth. Okay, so they killed her. The truth died, and so Gilgamesh and Enkidu are cursed by Inanna, Ishtar.
Yes,
and it was a heavy curse. And it's lasted, I'm still dealing with it to this lifetime because it's attached to my soul. So lifetime after lifetime, we're like watching each other die horrible deaths because of this curse. And so we get to So Babylon's like it was a new civilization. And actually, Enkidu and Gilgamesh were going to create a new civilization in Egypt and build pyramids.
Okay.
And restore an energetic system from the earth to an outside source, which I call the God source. And there's an exchange there. And within this, people are cured. And it's actually a bridge between heaven and earth.
Okay.
So that was a new civilization. Where do I show up in this other epic lifetime? When another civilization was being built, the United States. So Tom Paine comes from, where he's at over in England. He comes to the United States because this new civilization is being built. So now I'm showing up, and we're on the verge of this AI crap, depending on how we use that or choose to use that. It's like every time I show up, it's like it's a course correction. I'm here to this is the last time I'm doing this shit. Enough on mile 5, okay? Let's get together and get this shit right. So this is what it's all about. So it's my soul fulfilling this promise I made to humanity thousands of years ago to elevate and return humans to their true nature, which is a psychic connection to their spirituality, their divinity, and the divine. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm just, 5 foot, maybe 3, middle-aged woman. I'm not a Karen. So, anyways.
Well, Oofy threw a question out there for you. Did the tree of immortality produce fruit and seed, and would it grow if you had the seed?
You have to be, I think, that's a representation of we are immortal.
Symbolic. You think there's not a real tree? There's a symbol. It's a symbolic representation of the spiritual immortality.
So if you get into my book deeper, I actually see the matrix, and this would be the tree. Okay, and there's organizations here on this earth that have been manipulating that with our DNA because we're all connected to it. So, in a roundabout way, I'm here to reprogram that shit because Ishtar messed it up. So it's like I sound really arrogant and crazy, but if you read my book, you'll go like, it will make people think and ask more questions. And that's the point. Ask more questions, go deeper in, to know thyself. Hell, holy hell. There's like so much more to discover.
Yeah. Charles's son, actually, Lilith stated, sing Shania Twain, and they say that's it.
That's it. You're right. So basically, Lilith, she cursed all of humanity. She did.
And then poor Eve got all the blame.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I was Eve. I really haven't, it would make sense that I was because actually in my investigation, how this plays out, of course, Lucifer is a fallen angel. So there's another round of angels that come to go get him. So I'm one of them or aliens. I just want to go home. You can stay here and party, dude. I'm done.
No, I do understand. It's so okay. In my short experience over there, I sure as hell didn't want to come back.
Right?
And I've listened to a lot of people who have had near-death experiences, and very few of them say they really wanted to stay. There's some that excuse me, very few of them want to come back. You feel a duty to come back, or you just don't get a choice. But very few people say, "Oh, fuck this, I'm out of here." No,
No. Like,
yeah.
Where's my room? Like, where's my house?
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to settle down here. This is cool. Okay. Yeah.
So Lorraine says, after being a historic figure, how does one come back to the fold as a commander or commoner?
You know, this shit ain't easy.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, okay.
I'm not going to be a commoner, but there's a purpose for what I've had to live through in this lifetime, and so that people can identify me as I'm a human. I had to deal with this shit, so that I am that compassionate person that can lead people and have an understanding. This is really going on here in society.
And as we should know by now, people aren't the legends that are made about them.
True.
Well,
it depends on who writes the book.
In the end, we're all just ourselves. Okay. And we're just that simple. I mean, there are a few exceptions that are exceptional. To the greater extent, we just are who we are. Mm-hmm. If something happens in your life, or an event, or something that you did or accomplished makes you a legend, it doesn't really elevate you or drop you down as a person, as a being. We're all just beings.
Exactly. And
it's very important for us not to remember, not to read our own reviews.
Well, this is all about equality and freedom too. And you boil it down, and let's stop fighting, because like underneath the skin, we're all the same. I don't care. This group's not more special than that group, and I don't care what the hell you choose to be and what you do behind closed doors. It's like, don't put it in my face, okay? Because then you're gonna get rejected because you're up in my face and angry at me. But back to Lorraine's question about going through this process, I'm like, and knowing that I'm writing this book and I have to share this information with people, I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, every time I turn now, are you kidding me? It's like, do I really want to do this? You kind of have to. As I was going through this, I'm like, I had, when I came across Lucifer and Adam and all this confusion there, I was like, I had to set that down for a long time and go, am I really going to write about this? Am I really going to go there? And then finally I had to write about it because it kept coming up. It was like, it was intended. I have to do this. I have to grow those balls and throw them, like, I'm like, writing stuff like, okay, I'm channeling freaking Thomas Paine and I'm talking treason talk.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I think we need a little bit more than a little of that these days.
Anyways, if you really want to go there, I warn you. I caution you if you want to go down your past life route, but it's really interesting.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Now you're encouraging me. Now I'm intrigued. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I can't grasp that with the past lives, trying to figure out what I was back then because I am what I am now.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be the importance of knowing what you were?
Well, I know I have a lot of past life or it would be soul family healing. Like, okay, like, this plays over. We're done. This is the final act. We're done, So there's not, and I doubt it. I really doubt it. um, we're learning lessons, okay? And so if you can bring, and I really feel like originally when we came to this, humans came to existence, we would come packaged with that other lifetime and the knowledge of that lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's just a continuing story. We just change our costume.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so we're just learning lessons. So now this lesson is about all of humanity learning a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And going, and those past lives, we also bring beliefs with us from one lifetime to another lifetime, because I very much identify with Thomas Paine and his belief system. So on a human level, whether it's this lifetime or another lifetime, we operate and pivot from those belief systems. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what humanity's doing. We're pivoting from belief systems that may or may not be true. So when we can examine where we've been and bring it to the forefront, even though, we're doing like ego and shadow work here on a massive level, and we got to take the garbage out so we can make room for a future. That's what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just changing. Yeah, it's just a stage and costume change, basically.
Okay, so like, why doesn't anyone come back with the ability to heal the sick and raise the dead?
They do.
They do.
They did. One did particularly well at that.
They do. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We all have the capacity to do that, in fact. It's just we've forgotten how to do it because mm-hmm. we were told not to do it. It's a belief system.
Yes.
So that I completely understand. That is, to me, is the whole Bible thing. It's the whole you have to believe this. This is exactly what happened. If you don't grasp that, then we're kicking you out of. It's that organized religion bullshit that has come down, and we've got so many different divisions of everything. And it's like I can drive through Bowling Green and I can pass a Jehovah Witness place, a mosque, a Catholic church, and every kind of fucking Baptist that you want to see spread out everywhere.
Well, that is Kentucky.
So
and then you've got the non-denominational. So it's like, who are you people? And
so what if there's a couple levels here. One, they're all trying to preach love, but in reality, what they're doing is they are preaching fear and judgment.
Yes.
Across, it doesn't matter. It's judgment and fear. And so going back to the aliens, that's what they feed off of. So we got all these systems and structures in place. We've got government. So that's like, oh, we're fighting, like, oh, across the aisle. Ooh, it's all a system. So it's an illusion.
And but the thing is where is it leading? If we keep going through these cycles, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. It never gets better.
So now, like I said, we're you know, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to pan out or what I'll speak to about AI, but things are going to get more fake. Okay, things are so fake. You know, people are going to get more dumb. I hate to say that, but
yes, there's someplace else I can jump in at. Yes, because they are the people that just take in everything they're told. Nobody's thinking for themselves anymore. And you look at the big cities, you look at what's happening to them. And it's just here. This is what you're supposed to believe, do, and this is how you're supposed to live. And they don't have a clue what it's like 2 counties over.
So this started with the aliens and Babylon and all of that, and it's just carried down. And you all know the story, and I didn't expect my story to connect with that story, but it's brought down through the bloodline of the kings and queens, and then, you know, so and the monarchy, so, and the traditions and the belief systems that were. Oh, by the way, there's 2 chapters missing in that book. I was going to go to King James because King James, there's things that people don't, you know, they believe in the Bible. The King James he was a Freemason. He was into witchcraft, really, and he wrote, you know, a book on demonology. So, yeah, he translated the Bible from Hebrew to English. So what?
Why not?
Yes.
It's more control.
Yes, exactly. More control.
And actually, I explain in my book how it's actually a flip-flop, and actually this Bible's a flip-flop, and it's actually plagiarizing the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Yes, exactly. You know, I just realized something. King James, in having the Bible rewritten, broke a law in Jewish and Catholic religions right off the bat, because that was why you copy the word of God exactly the way it is in the book. Okay, you're not allowed to change it any. Okay, same thing with the Latin and the Greek, Latin and Greek in the Holy Bible, the first 6 books. Okay, they're supposed to be word for word. Okay, and they're accepted as such, but they said never change the word. And he said, "Oh, the hell with that! Throw that out the window. This is the way I want it to read." Yeah, I kind of blows my mind when I think about that now.
Right? So I have to add that chapter. So I didn't like. There's a little bit more to it. He ruled over 3, the British Isles. There, it wasn't just 1; it was 3. Yeah.
So this is starting to happen again.
Yes. Well, amen. I see. I mean, they're getting to a point where our monetary. So Tom Paine, he was a smart man.
What was the name of that movie? What was the movie that Tom Hanks was in? No,
I'm talking about Tom Paine, not Tom Hanks.
Oh, Tom never mind.
Wow.
I swear, I'm sure you said that, but I heard something entirely different.
This book is along the lines of the Da Vinci Code, and he was in it.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah. That too.
Tom Paine knew, because he had been a tax collector, he knew that taxes would be a tool for slavery. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the one that implemented it. You know, he was no author to the Constitution or the in the Declaration of Independence, but he knew about taxes. So now here we're faced where, and we have Social Security numbers. So now they want our monetary system so they can track every last cent that every person on this planet, exchanges. So
that's where the cyber bullshit comes in. They get rid of our money. That's the only way that they can track us, is electronically. And if we've got all this, and then they're going to put in that system that China's got, right? It's a credit rating, but it's not a credit rating we're using.
Social credit rating is added to it as a multiplier or something.
So, the only way, like, she was just, her comment, like, reminded me of what people like you and I might do. Okay. Outside of that system, we're going to be bartering. We'll barter.
Yeah.
That's how things, so this is kind of a big reset for us with what I'm talking about in my book. If anything, it's going to get people thinking. It's going to get them talking. Hopefully not rioting. Hopefully coming to the table and rationally talking civilly.
Oh yeah, no, that ain't never going to happen.
Right. So,
but seriously, I mean, even though it's modern times, this almost sounds like we're going to go back to the kings and queens era.
Well,
the Pharaoh era. It's just you've got your.
Well, that's where it's always been there behind the curtain.
Yes.
It's obvious to some of us, but that's how it's worked. It's just, it's going to get, we are slaves. Like, with this money system, oh my God, and really, I'm not a politician. I really don't want to make it political, but
as terrible. Okay. As terrible as this is going to sound off the cuff, maybe that is what we need.
Exactly.
I've wondered for the last 50 damn years what it would take to get people really pissed off.
I'm here to do it, baby.
That would do it. That would probably do it.
I'm here to do it. Look at this.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's supposed to do it. Like, what? Yeah. So, with this writing, so it's going to get interesting. Maria, I'd love to share this if you want to read it, because I'm looking for some feedback and commentary on it, if you like to.
Say that again.
My book. Like, I can't go around. I'm not a dictator. I'm not going to talk. It's like, let's, Thomas Paine, let's use some common sense here,
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. If we value each other, what difference does a banknote make? Well, apparently the government didn't like the fact that we didn't owe them shit. So they was going to make sure we owed them shit. But you even go back to the times when we had schools and the government wasn't involved. Each town had a school. And I don't know if it was, I wasn't back then. I don't know how much it cost the parents to send the kids to school, because the teacher had to get paid somehow. She wasn't doing it just because she wanted to,
or he.
But and it's like anything the government has ever come up with, we're going to make it easier on you. So we're going to do this for you, and all it's done is just continually fuck us.
Well, see, that's what happened with the Constitution and the Declaration of.
Mhm.
It's like, and I actually went back and I added more to this. I'm like, I'm channeling, but it's like my situation with my family. They, before I was even born, they knew that they were gonna use me in a particular way to make money. Okay, but
Right.
yet they're the ones telling me, family, and we love you, but we're gonna behave this way. It's the same. It's a mirror. It's the same sort of thing going on with the structures. So
Right.
yes, but they can't track bartering. Okay.
Oh,
Especially
almost
with
they
furs.
can put a barcode on your car or something, and they can read. Oh, wow, that's not your car. How do you have
but
this
I've
car?
got
We
4
value this. We value this at $47,000, and you owe sales tax. You owe a sales tax. No.
Oofy, honey, you can say that about the other side too. I mean, that doesn't really mean anything.
Exactly. It's the system that was created to keep you
Bitchin'.
in you're an animal in the zoo, okay?
Right.
And you're fighting with the other animals in the zoo. And
Right.
that's exactly where they want you. So it's a game.
Mhm.
So when you fall into that type of thinking, that's you've just done exactly what they want you to do.
Exactly.
You
You're
are
playing the
in
game.
their little cage. So you
And
are their little
you'll be
animal with
around.
CP. Every bit of it. Yeah, it's just it doesn't make any sense. And it's because and the reason, and of course she threw this up here too.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
it's all power and it's control, and it's like, and it's already started way over there, and then R2 or Republic, Democrat, and then you can throw in the independent bullshit that
Right.
you want to with it. Means nothing.
Here's
It's
the thing.
just something to put you in a category.
And this is what they did with these papers back in the 1770s and 80s.
Mhm.
Is I lost my train of thought. You can't change the system.
You can't.
Because if you can't even talk about it, because it's called treason. And if you are guilty of treason, they will kill you. It's still on the books.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and you can even go through the news just in the last 10 years. And you can you sit and watch two different people make the same crime. They do the same crime, break the same laws, but because this one is this person, they're not going to do anything to them. But this person will rot in jail and end up dead. Same thing. And that's what, you kept talking about. You see the statue of the chick with the blindfold and the scales. Bullshit. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Ever.
There's a difference between jaywalking and crossing the Rubicon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
what?
shouldn't laws of treason apply to all species? So that was a beauty. And yeah, there's no balances and checks in place to what was that? To check the. We are the fact checkers, and we need to fact check our government, these belief systems.
Nature doesn't allow us a jury. We just have to deal with the results, and they're ordinarily very unpleasant if we start messing around with Mother Nature. Okay.
That's why we have the media, though. We're the fact checkers. But it's like, oh my God, this big story's coming out. These people need to go to prison that are politicians or whatever. Oh, but let's go sink the sub. Yeah, I know you've seen those memes. I know you've seen them. It's like
Hmm?
the whistleblowers are coming out. So, let's go over here and pay attention. People are stupid, and they have their attention span is this long within the next newsreel. But it's like the stuff that somebody is saying today, 10 years ago, shit, even 5 years ago, was saying the complete opposite. And it's in the news and it's there. And you can run them side by side. And it's two completely different. Yes, everybody wants to be blind, Charles. Perfect.
Ignorance is bliss.
And yes, totally. They Live. It's the best movie ever. Best B movie ever.
I don't know that movie.
Oh my God.
Oh, girl. You've
got to see that movie.
80s.
They Live.
You've got to go watch that. Oh, matter of fact, I'm going to have to go find some of that. Hang on. I'll be right back. I got to go find you some stuff, girl.
She will come back. She will come back with an excellent clip on that movie, I'm sure. No, this is weird because I was thinking about this earlier, which is why I heard Tom Hanks. Okay. Okay. Cloud Atlas, 2012. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
It's like a 4 or 5 part movie. Okay. And it's about basically it's a 3-character play in each part. Okay. It's the same 3 actors in all 5 parts. Okay. But at different eras in time. Switching roles, doing the same thing in each on each different stage. It's basically, it's all about reincarnation.
Interesting. So I'm sorry. Someone asked, like, what was the point of me having these 3 lifetimes? So here's a little bit more. Because of that treason, I had to speak that this has been going on for like 5,000 years. And so I have examples to talk about that. Those things, those structures are still here and we're still dealing with them. Rather than, well, I'm kind of getting ballsy and like really like the U.S. government. Anyways, I'm sure that'll get edited.
Not here.
Well, when you do traditional publishing, your publisher probably doesn't want to get sued. Nor do I.
Oh, well. Yeah.
It'll get rewritten somehow.
Smoothed over just a little bit. Yes, for the.
I was channeling Thomas Paine.
Mm-hmm.
And his thoughts on now. Anyways, back to your thought of these 3 different.
Yes, I mean that was the whole. It's what I walked away from the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Was each of the characters, and each of the characters had to play their part in that particular stage. Okay.
Exactly.
And hopefully at the end all the characters understood because they had been on both sides of the they played the other roles.
Yeah.
Okay. So they had gained a better understanding of the purpose of the exercise, shall we say?
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that movie, Stranger Than Fiction. I feel like Harold Crick, because little did she know, like.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie?
Stranger Than Fiction with whom?
Will Ferrell. and Emma Thompson. I believe that's her name.
No, it doesn't
And
ring a
she's
bell.
a writer, and she's writing. And as
Mhm.
she's writing, these things are happening to this man that actually exists that she doesn't notice. And so he goes and finds her somehow.
I will look it up now.
Yeah, so I kind of like, little did she know. That's how I feel. I feel like this is all
she was behind the scenes writing the story of his life.
exactly.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
And he had to get to her before she killed him off.
The Greeks blamed the fates for that. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
What you got, Maria?
Any luck? How goes the fishing?
It's close to like 3 minutes of stuff.
Okay,
So,
that's good.
but what did I do with it? There, maybe this is it. Hang on.
Yeah, my story kind of goes along with the Sound of Freedom too. So it's like this divine timing.
Oh, it's not showing it.
Let me see.
I hate this. Hang on.
Let me try.
Let me try again here. Share screen. I would think it would have let me show it. I guess I'm gonna have to pull it up on like YouTube too. Oh, it says your browser has blocked the screen. Yay. Actually, I guess I just need to go to YouTube. Maybe that way I can find it better. Maybe that will share. No, I don't think it's going to show that either. But anyway. Yeah, it's not showing.
Well, I'll have to try to find it. What was the Cloud Atlas?
Yes.
Is that the entire name? Cloud Atlas?
That's the entire. Okay. Well, here's I found one, and I'm not going to pre-watch, so we'll see what happens. This is probably the good one.
Hopefully.
Ready? Okay.
We didn't used to have this problem. We could pop up any kind of YouTube channel and it would play. So
okay.
yes, that's it. Perfect. But it's not. It doesn't. Does it have the sound to it? There we go.
This is exactly what they're doing too.
Yes.
Hypnosis. It's a form.
And this was 1988 when this came out, right?
Yeah, this is you look at art, literature, music, any expression like that, you're going to find the same story. If you're
Well, and
looking
the best part, he sees people that are not humans in this as well.
Mhm.
that's kind of what's been going on with me the last few years.
What's your
It's been
problem?
going on the whole time.
Yeah.
I said, what's your problem?
Is that Edgar Casey on ESP in the background? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Right there.
How are you today, sir? Okay.
Yep.
Fine, thank you. Thank you, sir.
So even the Wizard of Oz is the same kind of story. You've got the power all along. You just didn't know you had it. So going back to your divinity, going back to these ESP things, and actually accessing that tree of life, that knowledge, the tree of knowledge. You know, people doing that, we were told not to do that, so you don't know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an alien too. Thanks. I'm a good one. I'm here to help. So it's interesting.
I would love to hear that myself. That I was, because I've been saying, beam me up.
You probably are if you have such a strong desire like that. You're probably not from here, just like me. I'm just like, I want to go home. You know, I really like the other place I live is not. This is hell to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's hell to the rest of us too, but we're having to deal with it, and we're not doing anything about it because we've also noticed that if you do try to do anything about it, you're going to prison or whatever. I mean, they're just going to put you away and make your life here completely miserable. And oh my God, Andy's just sent me something, so I need to.
Okay, Andy's.
Oh, he told me to. He said to send it to you, so I'm. I'll have to do that some other time. Let's see, copy link. I'm just going to put it right here. StreamYard. We're going to all share Andy's thoughts. So there, it's in StreamYard there. And if it's porn, Julie, I apologize because I did not look at it before.
Yeah, I don't know. Should I click it?
Andy's never going to put anything or send anything that's going to be a virus or anything like that. Whether it's porn or not, we cannot.
It might be shocking, but it will not harm your computer.
Right. It won't harm your computer.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff here.
Andy's on it now. Just saying.
From bedrooms to billionaires. First man in the moon.
Well, and that's like that movie too that I've
this
seen.
Is the list.
Yeah.
There's a Doctor Who Triple X. I'm afraid to.
It sounds pretty interesting, actually. He said that the movie They Live is on there. So.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
But see, okay, so a lot of us back in the day, the reason we watched this movie was because Rowdy Roddy Piper was in it. And he was a huge wrestler back in the day.
Right.
And we just loved it. So, I mean, and that's a movie. I haven't watched it in years, but I watched it 2-3 times. And even back then, it made complete sense to me that this is what's going on. And I can't tell you the argument. And actually, we've had to stop. I've had to stop speaking and just shut the hell up because my sister is one of those that if you put it on the news, it's the truth. It's the gospel to her. And you're
So
not going to mind.
You and your sister, then you represented the famous fight scene.
Yeah, there you
Where
go.
where his buddy, he says, "Here, look at these, look at this,"
Yeah,
and they go on a knockdown, drag out WW3
it's just look. I mean,
marathon fight to make him look to make him look.
just to get him. Oh, she's Andy said, "Do not click on Doctor Who." Don't click on it.
Guys, triple X, man.
Yeah, don't click on Doctor Who. But I mean, and she's one of those because, and I can't even. He further iterated and said that is porn. Don't click on it. So, well, I might. You never know. We'll see.
Who knows?
Too late.
We'll come back and do a critique on the movie list.
Yeah.
Oh man!
But I mean, and it was one of those things where we were visiting mom. It was and something was brought up, and she was just like, "Well, why would you think that way? Well, why do you think your way?" I mean, I get it that that's what they're doing on the news, but have you not looked at why they're telling you that, or what's going on behind the scenes, or what they're diverting your attention from? And I mean, she just wow. I mean, it's like opening up a volcano.
Exactly. So this is a lot of personal belief systems, like I was saying. So this goes to know thyself. Like, why do you believe what you believe? Where did you come to that conclusion? Because somebody told you to believe it, right? So this
Right.
really is humans individually taking responsibility for themselves, right? Which is really hard because we have this system that takes care of us, right? That
Right.
people believe that, but it's really doing that hard work, like I have done, to shed those false belief systems about my family, people in my life, and to be able to get to where I am now with this crazy story I got. But yeah, it's really people taking responsibility for themselves, which they've been basically taught not to.
Yes.
And really stripping back, what are the basics? So, I shared with you too my recent crazy experiences where I had to go through those experiences to understand, if you strip these things away, if they're things, they're things. We need basic things. We need food, water, shelter, and clothing, right?
Right.
Love, right? Companionship. So if we can go back to understanding that, those, I mean, and all this other stuff, all this structure stuff, it doesn't matter on the other side. It doesn't.
Right.
The politics doesn't matter. Where's that going to get you over there? What kind of currency is you going to get you?
Exactly. Well, and two, you go back and you look at, even with taxes. Taxes has been a thing forever. And it's like, we want to start a war over the fact that they were trying to tax us more. And yet nobody blinks an eye now because they've done so much other stuff to divert your attention away from what they're doing. And nobody's paying attention. It's like, does anybody look at the budget? No. Does anybody read the 5,000 pages in a bill that's just been presented when all they want is this one paragraph? but everybody's added all this other shit into it. But because we need this one paragraph, all this other shit is just there to screw everybody else.
But we gotta sign it before it can, like, we can tell you about it. We gotta sign it.
Sign it. Don't read it. Sign the damn thing and pass it.
And they're gonna make this a tax, so you cannot get out of, like, having health care. It's a tax now. It's a tax.
Girl, I'm gonna tell you something that made me so mad. And I couldn't believe the people that were just like, oh yeah, this is the greatest thing ever.
It screwed people.
I worked with people that had to pay $1,500 a year to the IRS because of this. And thankfully, that even though that it was done the way it was, they had to go ahead and pay it. But thankfully, they weren't going to be levied. Their property wasn't going to be taken away from them. But you know what? What if it had? Do you think anybody else would have cared? No. They wouldn't have cared that this family of three that's living from hand to mouth and doing fine until this. But they lost. So how many years was that in effect that they had to pay that fine? Was that 4 years?
2009?
It was until Obama left, right? A couple of years after he was out of. But anyways, so they had to pay it. So that was that much more money they lost a year over that time because of that. But nobody that was up here gave a shit about the people that were down here.
Exactly. But we do care for you. That's why we're making it.
Yeah. We love you. We're going to do this for you.
But
and it was awful.
What would have been better is the insurance companies, like things would have been opened up and free trade, like, and we had options. That's where the government would have been looking out for us. Yeah, in reality.
Yep. Jay says it was 4 years that everybody had to pay that.
There's that was penalties for not having.
That was $6,000 that family could have had that the government took and didn't blink an eye. But yet, let's talk about oppressive people and everything else while we're in our yacht down in Greece somewhere. But talk about.
Do you want to come with me?
But this is the shit that drives me nuts, it's, and people fall for this stuff.
Exactly. Well, what's required. They're doing what's the bare minimum, right? A lot of people just, they don't question. It is what it is. They're going to have to make a decision. Like next year, it's an 8-year. It's not all about abundance, man. It's all about crisis, war, all kinds of crap coming. It's a shitstorm, okay? Morning. I might be at the helm of it.
When does it start? Does it start in January?
Oh, it's going to get worse.
Okay.
But then we'll go to my yacht in Greece and.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about how bad it is for all of us.
We're going to hijack the one with Clarence Thomas on it.
There you go. There you go.
Or maybe we can just release it. Obviously, that's what his benefactor said.
Right off.
It was just a lease. It's not even my yacht, really.
See, all of y'all can come because I'm going to do it on my business time, and I'm going to write it off on my taxes.
Yes,
there,
exactly.
Yeah. Well, and that's
it just gets more and more convoluted, and it's just, oh my God,
Well, you look at what they did to us during COVID. You look at what they did to people. And it's not even just the isolation that they did in these big cities. And I mean, people couldn't even walk outside. Are you kidding me? You're going outside. And then they were like, you had to wear masks. That don't freaking work. Then they're like, oh, well, we've got a vaccine. If you take it, you can't get COVID. Oh,
Wait,
Except you can't.
can
Sometimes.
too.
Most of the time.
You
Well,
get
all
it,
the time. But it's
but
not
it
as
won't
bad.
be so bad. But that's what I'm wondering. Has anybody fucking woke up since then? If you have not woken up since then,
oh no, people are still
there
fighting
is
over
no
these
help
crap.
for you.
They're still like,
Yes, there's no help for you.
I saw someone wearing a mask over the weekend, last Friday. I'm like,
Mhm.
what? I don't go out that much, so I'm like, what the hell is this?
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Well,
I'm like,
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
I heard this on the news today, so it's obviously real, right?
oh,
In-N-Out Burger made a rule that their employees were not allowed to wear masks. But if somebody that was there working in the store had the sniffles really bad one day and they were afraid, they weren't sick enough to stay home, but they didn't want to spread it around. If they chose to wear a mask, they're going to get fired. What's the, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you go back pre-COVID, that was just being polite in Japan. And their flu deaths was a tenth of ours. Okay.
But they go
So,
around
you
wearing
know,
masks anyway.
well,
Honestly.
they had to because of the pollution in freaking Tokyo. You can't. That'd be a trip to the Ginza would be a death sentence to me.
pre-COVID, I can remember seeing the people that I saw that wore masks
Mhm.
were people that mowed the yard because of their allergies.
That
The
too.
people that had cancer and was receiving chemo.
Mhm.
Those were the
Yeah.
people that you saw wearing masks.
Yeah.
But then after that, and it's like, so now people are allowed to go anywhere with a mask on, and Jesus Christ, man, they're
In your
robbing.
car alone.
You can walk right in and you can rob someplace, but because you've got on a mask, don't profile. Damn it. Don't you dare. Don't you go there.
Who's profiling? What? What's going on?
Profile. Yeah. Andy says that Ron needs to wear a mask, but I don't think that's for health. I think that's just because of the Ron Squatch thing.
Oh God.
Ron Squatch.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, now that we've bitched and complained and carried on,
95 Delta Smoke. I'll remember that.
My message is really about love, and like you need to all love each other as much as, because it really changes the whole energy of everything, and it's really hard.
Raise your vibration.
Exactly. I mean, it is possible. I had like having to forgive people like my family members and what they did.
Yes.
It's for me. It's not for them. So
Yeah, that's true. I advised someone about that just the other day. Hate is a corrosive emotion. It harms the vessel that carries it.
exactly.
Yep.
Kinky.
that's what Andy says. Just the mask wearing part's what he's saying.
Oh. He's talking about the studs and the feathers and the
Mardi Gras. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it's.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And beads. Lots and lots of beads.
Yeah. Have you? What are you shuffling cards, Julie?
No, I was making notes. It says access the tree of life in your divinity. So
Okay. Well, I was hearing the noise and I was like, she's shuffling cards. She's fixing to give Andy a reading that he needs to hear.
Dude, there's no help for you. Like, you're stuck.
But he's got sweet little Trudy, so that's the best part of Andy.
Keep on keeping on, dude. You make people laugh.
It's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it.
Exactly.
You know, it's like we all need to like pitch
We
in and move
appreciate you.
here.
Oh,
But we
geez.
can't put him in Oregon or Washington or any liberal state like that. We've got to put him in like Tennessee or no. If we put him in Tennessee, the humidity would kill him.
Arizona. I don't know if Arizona's like switch colors, but
Oh, Montana or Wyoming would be a
big
good place.
sky.
Yeah. It's cold. He's used to that. Yeah, we could. Montana, that's where we need to take him.
I could see him in a Speedo cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
hat, you know?
He can have a hot tub. Andy would
I'd like
have
to
his
I'd like to see Andy at 7,000 feet.
Yeah.
Considering he's spent his entire life 10 feet above sea level.
Yeah, I don't want to be ever at 7,000. I'm good at 8.
Well, that's most of Montana.
I'm good.
You're at that elevation, or is that the elevation of the land there?
That's,
Around here, it's
You're at
about
sea level.
600, and it's probably 1,000 or more just to the east of me. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm used to.
You're pretty on flat ground.
Mhm.
Pretty much.
I'm on what they call the knobs. This is where I live because it's just a whole bunch of hills and stuff like that. And
Sounds fun.
Mammoth Cave's here, so yeah, it's fun.
Who's there?
Mammoth Cave.
I don't know that.
Mammoth Cave is a national park, just right over there.
over
And
the
it's
hill.
400 and something miles underground. They keep finding more and more of it.
Interesting.
It's a big deal around here.
Well,
There's
when
been a
I come
lot of-
through-
Yeah, when the bombs start dropping, they'll
My
have
ass is going to the cave.
people hanging out there.
Well, see, that's
right.
another thing. We don't need war. Someone's convinced us that we need to fight and we need to kill each other.
Mhm.
We really don't. Over
Yeah.
beliefs and nine
We're
boundaries.
fighting for what? You know, we're burning the house down to save the house. What's the point of that?
EVPs fought in caves. There you go. That's got to be
Ooh.
like pretty sad.
That would be a good one.
They are awesome. EVPs and caves. Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You find a lot of dead in the caves.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's where the Indians lived for a long time.
Ah,
Mhm.
Way back in there. All over through here. You can find carvings and everything in a
Mhm.
lot of those places.
really?
Oh, yeah.
They sound like Jen? What's the difference between Jinn and like some other kind of spirit you catch on EVP?
A gin? Gins are a lot worse. They're not.
Jen
very-
telling you, rub my belly.
Yeah. And
I'll
then
give
you're
you
not
what
going to
you
like what
want.
happens. Yeah.
Oh,
Gins are more of a. That's a cultural thing. What they call it. From
an
what they-
elemental.
I do, but
Yeah.
what's the difference when you catch it on an EVP?
inside of a cave. And see, there's the thing too. When you catch an EVP, you really don't know who you're capturing. You don't know who you're catching.
Exactly. lower.
Stop it, Andy.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're. I mean, just because it tells you it's grandma that lived down the road
Right.
and it's traveling
Right.
through, doesn't mean that that's what it is.
I know.
But eventually, you'll figure it out.
I went on the Thomas Paine Cottage website, and they had like teams go in there, paranormal teams going in there, and they said they caught Tom Paine on there. I'm like, bitch, please, come on, I'm right here.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's you don't know, and all you can do is ask questions, and they give answers, and that's all you've got to go on. Whether that's who it is or not, you have no proof.
So,
because they're not handing you their resume as they're talking to you.
So I talk to them in my mind, and I can see what they look like, but like spirits can change their appearance to appear as something else.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, and that's the thing. Okay, so the Indians called those shapeshifters,
Mm-hmm.
and they were not kind spirits.
So, but there's good shapeshifters and there's bad ones. Gilgamesh and I, even to this day, were shapeshifters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's evident, like, well, I know because what I have to do in this lifetime, I don't use it. But if you look at pictures of him, he looks different. Like, he looks like a totally, like, different people in pictures. It's insane. Mm-hmm. But it's not consciously done. It's something that just, I don't understand it. Like, maybe it's energetic.
Right.
Where his appearance changes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Like a couple that hangs out a lot, they start looking like each other. It's kind of like that phenomena.
Okay.
Or you've got a dog that looks like you. The longer you have it, yeah. Never had that problem.
Right.
Never had that problem. Or all the girls, when they hang out with each other, they start syncing up.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So that's a theory. But anyway.
Well, yeah, I had like
proven that. So
5 female roommates at one time. Interesting. Mm-hmm. We were living in Tahoe, and the house that we rented had been a brothel like in the 30s and 40s. Mm-hmm. And here we are. It's still doors that swing.
Mm-hmm. Just keep going on.
Yep. But we were not.
Welcome back, girls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't tapped into that. Mm-hmm. I don't think so. My roommate did have a ghost attached to her. And mind speak. Mind speak.
And of course, Andy thinks that's very kinky, and he wants to hear more.
You want to hear more? It's not pretty. I got stories, but they're not really appropriate for broadcast. Unless we do drunk history night. So.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, see, Andy wants your number, so you all can talk about that later.
Follow me on Facebook. I got a link tree. You'll find me. Mm-hmm. And the access to me might just shut down. I'm going to have to get a PA to, like, answer everything.
Well, I'm glad you joined us tonight, Julie. This was fun. We need to do this more often.
Well, thanks for having me. I just speak about what I've experienced. Or no.
Enlightening, relaxing. You know, that's just having fun. Just like I said, we don't know where the conversation is going to go.
Exactly.
I think we left the road a long way back.
Right? Tissues. Oh,
Kleenex.
you got lotion, darling.
Well, he didn't say anything about Cheetos just yet. So, but I'm waiting for that one. But yeah, okay. So tell everybody about the book, where to get it. We need to.
Well, it's not out. I need a publisher, so I'm looking for a traditional publisher, not self-publishing this, but you can find Master in the Making, my self-published book, on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, probably, your cheap bin, but this'll rise. So I'm gonna work on this and make it to a movie. So this is about meeting Gilgamesh in this lifetime. Basically, we don't know I didn't know he was Gilgamesh until 2 years after I published this.
Wow. Okay. Yes.
So so that's the first leg of my story, talking about. There's a lot in here. I really intended it to be like, this is my spiritual. I was a skeptic when I started going into the spiritual stuff and the energy healing and all of this. And so that's what I really intended this to be, for people to understand. Yeah, it is real. So if you do it, you understand it. If you get into it, you understand it, and you see that it's real. Because people just deny that, like, psychics are fake. I mean, they say that they are fake. So, anyways, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. You guys are always fun. I love tuning in on Tuesdays. So,
well, thank you. We enjoy you, and we enjoy everybody that's in chat, especially because that group. Good Lord, there ain't never telling what's going to be in there.
They're always waiting for you. They're like, that old Mervin's commercial, open.
Yeah. Oh, look, Marco finally decided to show up, and we're fixing to end.
I'm gonna start sending him an email. I think I've got him on Facebook.
No, I don't.
I'm gonna have to. I'll tell you who we missed. We didn't get Kevin to stop in today, and I sent him a notice.
Well, I know where he's at right now, so
okay.
That's the reason why he's not here.
Okay, well, whatever. I thought this would have been as we finish up.
His ears must have been burning.
Too bad, guy. Yeah. So, geez, the time passes so quickly when you're having fun.
Good. Yes.
You're smiling, laughing, having great ideas, learning new things, opening our minds, all that good stuff.
So I'd like to grant you or gift you time with me in some capacity if you want to explore your past lives, whether it's you viewing them for yourself. And I don't do hypnosis. I can guide you in a meditation, or I can open the Akashic records and I can explore that way. So, but I find it more satisfying if you see it for yourself rather than being explained.
Dictated. Yes.
Like this visual of you and this impression of you. But I can do both.
Okay. I will think about that very hard. I thank you. I thank you.
So, I mean, if you're interested, you better book me now.
Listen at her.
Before it starts, before the crash and it starts getting busy.
Well, I got other projects I haven't even spoken about that I got all kinds of irons in the fire. So, yeah.
There's one thing we did not do that we did before we came on air, and that was that EVP that I wanted to share.
Ah,
That I was hoping, I hope everybody can hear it. I just want your opinion. If you cannot hear what's going on, I will loop it. I will play the whole thing, and then I'm going to loop what I think I'm hearing.
Okay.
So if you've got headphones close by, grab them. Julie, sweetie, if you need to take off, go ahead.
no.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
No. No, I'm just saying if you've got a timeline, sister.
No.
So here we go. If everybody's ready, here we go. All right, now I'm going to loop it. Oops, sorry. Okay. So I want to know if anybody understood that. The first part of it, I'm walked into a room and I have said, does anybody have anything to say to me? And I'm grabbing a chair and scooting it across the floor because I'm going to screw in some the motion sensor light bulbs, put them back in. And so then there was a voice that was behind that. And I don't know if other people can hear that there is a voice behind that. I can hear it because I was there and I know there was nobody talking. Plus, when you listen to recordings long enough, you catch that EVP. You know what sound is going to happen before an EVP hits the recording. And you know what it sounds like when it leaves, when it's done. So I just didn't know if anybody else could ever capture that, because I know sometimes there's a theory that EVPs are only meant for a person to hear, not everybody.
Huh.
So it goes along with that.
I wonder, like, I'd be curious to enhance the volume on that.
Yeah. And I can drop that into something and send it to you. Because it's just something that I had saved. And the bad part about it is too, is it went from one laptop to another, and then it's being, it's being played again. So how much of it's been lost, I don't know from the original. But if anybody's wanting to know what that said at the end, when I said, do you have anything that you want to say to me? At the very end of it, it says, don't hurt her. And that's there's one specific room in Octagon Hall that something like that would be said.
Huh, interesting. So there was somebody there protecting you.
Yeah, and there's somebody there that protects a lot of people that are there. There's also something there that will run certain people out of, mostly males, all males, out of the house.
Is it a male spirit?
It's a male spirit, and most of the guys that they run out of there are north of the Mason-Dixon line. They're gone. As soon as they find out they're from someplace other than Kentucky, they're gone. And it's not a good thing that they do to them. It makes them feel like they're having a heart attack. It's high anxiety. I mean, they think they're going to die if they don't get out of that house.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyway. So, anyways, I'm done. I just thought I'd throw that out there and see if anybody could understand that at all.
It's very cool.
Actually, digital copies should maintain their fidelity.
I hope so.
I know. Yeah.
Anyway. It's just whatever we're using to play it. So, to bring it back to the ear, their loss is there, but
Right. And
the
however,
recording should be through the recording. I mean, they're not the same as the old style audio.
correct. Yeah.
Not digital, but analog audio.
Mhm.
But they don't degrade like analog does.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Anyways, thanks everybody for
Thank
dealing
you.
with us tonight.
Thank you all for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us for another Tuesday evening. And we'll try to get back next week. Thank you, Julie. Special thank you for coming in and having fun with us. And of course, the lovely Maria. Thanks again. Couldn't do it without you. And everybody have a great night. Love you all. Bye.